And we are live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to BWTM Online. We have a very special guest with us. We have the artist. Live. Good morning, good afternoon, welcome to BWTM Online. Apologies for this. Back. We are live and we have with us a very special guest all the way from the United States of America, the artist behind the album, Fullness of Time, Mr. Gary Mohammed. Brother Gary, how are you?
Doing very well, Brother Ingram. I appreciate, first of all, let me say I'm very pleased and very honored to be a part of your program. Uh, I've never done this before, so please bear with me. But I want to say greetings to all of your listeners.
Thank you so much. For people who don't know, obviously will not know of you, can you tell us a little bit about where you're from in America and how you got into the business of music?
Very good. I'm from a little small town in central Illinois called Bloomington, Illinois. Born and raised, been here all my life. I'm actually a barber by trade. Um, I've always loved music, came from a very musical family, older siblings who were either in pop bands or rock bands or soul bands. At any rate, and my father, nonetheless, was in a jazz band when he was a young man. So, coming from all of that, there were 12 of us in the home. We, at one point, thought we might be like the Jackson Five. We would put a group together, and some of us would play and some of us would sing. It turned out we were not the Gaston Five. That's my family's name. And we didn't make that. However, I took up drums and bass and guitar and wanted to hone those skills. And somehow I couldn't escape being able to sing too. So I sing a little bit, but I mostly play. That's what I love.
So, I mean, I know you talk about your father and that was an inspiration for yourself, but other than your father, was there anybody within jazz that you saw that inspired you that said, I want to be just like him? Or if I can be as half as good as him, I'll be happy with that.
Well, immediately, two artists come to mind, and one would be George Benson. The other one would be George Duke. I don't know what it is about those George guys, but they're pretty. I like those guys. They inspired me. They influenced me a lot of because George was a guitar player, what or is a guitar player and vocalist. George Duke, I admire him for his creativity and his ability to write, produce, perform. Uh,
Wow. Well, George Benson, I was listening up to yesterday, listening to him, White Rabbit.
oh yes, yes, one of his most prolific jazz albums,
Absolutely.
old school jazz albums, I would say.
Absolutely. So, coming back to you, when did you know that you had that ability, that talent, that you were going to do something in music?
Well, the truth is, I still don't know that, but no, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Well, you kind of what happens is you kind of have it confirmed by others and not so much by yourself. You embark upon gigs, you do performances and things, and I think I'm always critiquing myself, and I'm always striving to be better, obviously, than what I am. But others give you these indications that maybe you're pretty good sometimes. So I'll just accept that.
So when you're up there performing, tell me what goes through your mind, Gary? What's the thing that you most think about when you're playing your music, and what's the
Uh-oh, I lost you. Are you back?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, I see you now.
So as I was asking, what's the weirdest thing you would have thought about when you were playing music, and then what's the thing you think about most while you're playing your music?
Well, the weirdest thing would have to be maybe, boy, I sure am hungry while I'm up here playing. I wish but I'm always very mindful to make sure I'm playing the right notes, and that I'm not being redundant, and I'm always searching for new ways to express when you're on the stage. And I guess over time, when you get a little older, you're not so much worried about how the audience feels about how you're playing, but you are putting pressure on yourself to kind of master some things that have been plaguing you over time, and you're hoping that the audience will enjoy what you're doing.
So in your musical career, what's been the greatest moment for you as a performer?
I posted something earlier, just a picture on my Facebook page. I had the honor of sharing the stage with one Howard Hewitt. I have enormous respect for Howard, the band that he was in before Shalimar. We were privileged to be chosen when he came to Central Illinois to do a show. He was going to use recorded tracks because he wasn't sure he could trust anybody to play in Little Bloomington, Illinois for him. But myself, along with a few other musicians, some of which are on this the CD that we're talking about today.
Fantastic.
We backed Howard Hewitt up in a hour and a half concert. We played the music for him, but of course we had to pass his litmus test. He scrutinized us the day before the concert to see if we were good enough, and fortunately we passed, and the rest is history.
Wow, amazing, amazing. So the album, The Fullness of Time, is this your first album that you've released?
No, sir. I had one about 12 years ago called Bean Soup Days.
Okay.
That was the first CD.
Okay, talk to me about the inspiration behind that CD first.
Well, I was just going through a rough patch, and I needed something to occupy my time. And the best thing I could do at that time, because I was in my feelings, I was in my emotions, I was going through a breakup, and music became the comfort for me at that time. And the creativity just started flowing, and I think I put a lot of passion and thought into Bean Soup Days, the first CD. And a lot of people say they really like that CD. I didn't think it was my best work. I was just really emotional when I undertook that project. However, it all worked out for the best, and people still ask me about that one today, and it's out there as well, along with the new one.
Okay, fantastic. So 12 years on, you released this new album, The Fullness of Time, as you've called it. First of all, why is the title called The Fullness of Time?
The Fullness of Time actually speaks to the time in which we live right now. We've seen, we're blessed, I say, as a whole, to be in what I would call the end of one world and the beginning of a new world of peace and tranquility and righteousness and the betterment of the human condition. Even though we can't see that right now in its full bloom, we see the I guess you could say mile markers along the road. But I don't want to get, real biblical or scriptural about it. Yeah. But I just wanted to say, just from all my study, accumulation of knowledge and understanding, of where we are in human history, I believe we are at that time, where all things will come to beginnings and endings, So, the fullness of time. We're at that time when all things will be fulfilled that we talked about in the old writing or the old scripture.
Fantastic, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So,
but may I say that this is not necessarily a religious project. Okay, this is jazz. This is fusion. This is funk. Okay, that's what this is.
You had to clarify that.
Okay.
Fair enough. Okay, so 12 years on, this album comes out. Why this album? Why now? Why have you decided to, 12 years on, release this album now?
Well, 12 years, when I look at that 12, I just say, man, that's a long time in between projects. I'm not, Stevie Wonder only, Stevie Wonder only had 5 years go by before he did another project. So 12 years, I think I was just really too busy to do anything because we were gigging so much. The band was always gigging. I had songs that I hadn't done anything with. I wrote these songs. I had not really refined them or anything yet, but I wanted to come back and revisit some of the old material. And so I would say this album consists of a few older songs that were written that I wanted to bring back and some new ones that were inspired by today.
Okay, it's good. So who accompanied you with this particular album, The Fullness of Time?
Yes. First, let me say the drummer on this work. He grew up here in Bloomington, Illinois, and he went to, I think, Los Angeles, and he became pretty sought after out there. Then he moved back to Chicago. His name is Phil Bill. I looked I knew him growing up, but we lost track of each other after he left, Bloomington. But I saw that he had played behind Ray J. He had played behind Wayne Brady. He had played with Huge Groove. I'm not sure if you know or familiar with Huge Groove, but he's a smooth jazz artist here in the States.
Okay.
And other top-notch players. So I was very, very fortunate to be able to grasp him. He was in town. He was playing with his group. And so I just casually mentioned it to him that I would love to collaborate with him on something. And all he said was, give me a call, man. I said, yes, sir. So I was fortunate to get him. Mike Gardner, he and I been together for many years. He's a very talented, very gifted keyboard man. And he is, I can't say enough about him. We've been there. We've played together off and on, he and I, for about 25 years. The bass player, Kenny Johnson, he's the same. I would put him in the same category with Mike. And then, so we were, those four that I just named, those three along with myself, we're the nucleus, I guess you could say, the four main players on there. Then I invited a sax man to sit on one. My daughter, Khadija, she's singing a song on the CD, and my sister, Tracy Spears, is singing a song on the album as well.
Wow, wow, wow. So how long did it take for you to get everyone together and to get the album to where it is now?
I started this project just before Thanksgiving of 2017.
So you released it just recently?
It was released a week ago.
Wow, wow, wow. On the actual album, what can people expect? I know you said there's some jazz, some funk, some R&B.
Yes, sir, that's correct. And it's all original music. I'm trying to figure out with myself why I write the way I write and all this kind of thing. But I love smooth jazz. I love the old traditional jazz. I love R&B. So I think I'm a cross between somewhere of those three: smooth, traditional, and R&B or soul. There is some funk in there.
Yeah, some funk as well. What are your thoughts on acid jazz?
Well, if somebody's playing it and they're killing it, I love it. You know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't follow the usual rules that most jazz follows. You can do whatever you want with acid jazz, and you're experimenting with different sounds and everything. So yeah, it's cool, man.
So in terms of the album, what would you say is your favorite track or tracks on the album of The Fullness of Time?
Well, obviously, I really love the title track, which is The Fullness of Time. I think my sister really, Tracy, does an excellent job with that. And it's a reflective song. It is a kind of thought-provoking kind of song. And hopefully it inspires those who listen to the lyrics of the song. And it kind of does have some George Duke influence in there because of the tenderness of what I tried to project with that song. Then I like Morning Reflections, which is track number 3 on here, because I kind of get a chance to put a little acid jazz in there. Speaking of acid jazz,
Yes.
it's a sensitive solo, but it is it's kind of like a rock solo in the middle of smooth jazz songs. So I kind of like that idea. And of course, my daughter Deja, she does a great job on This Time. You know, she helped me out on Bean Soup Days 12 years ago. She was very young, and I just kind of used her for background on that one. But she has evolved, you know, into such a great young up and coming vocalist that I allowed her to do a lead track.
Fantastic. Fantastic. So, where can people get the CD or get to hear the music?
Well, for those who are local in my area, I have them, you know, the actual physical CD, but I also have it on iTunes. It is available on CD Baby. It is also available on Amazon Music. And in the coming days, they will also put it out on other music sites. I'm not sure what all those are, but if you want to purchase the CD, they are $15. If you want to download it online, I believe it is, I think $9.99 or $10 or something like that. If you want to just download it.
Okay. Do you have the website? Do you know what the website is? I know we've got the website in our description box of this video, but do you remember what it is? The website?
The website for
the CD.
Oh, for the CD?
Yes.
Oh, CD Baby.
Okay.
.com. CDbaby.com. You should be able to get it.
And then you just type in the fullness of time, Gary Muhammad.
Exactly. And it should come up. You go to store. I believe you go to store, cdbaby.com, store. And any artists you want, you type their name in and their music should come up.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Brother Gary, have I missed anything out?
Oh, no. I think that we covered the waterfront, my brother.
Fantastic. Once again, thank you, Gary Muhammad, for this wonderful interview and insight into the fullness of time and a little bit about yourself.
Well, Brother Ingram, I thank you so much for this time. You're making me feel really important all of a sudden. You know, I haven't gotten an interview in the United States yet, so
we'll have to make it happen for you then.
So yeah, so I appreciate this, and you know, God bless you, brother, for taking the time.
Thank you very much. Once again, Gary Muhammad, the fullness of time.
Peace, everybody. Go out and get it.